Okay, so I assume you have thought through what to do for each of these cases. So let's go over them. So when x is less than the smallest, that means we have find a new smallest number. So then that means the current smallest become the second smallest. So this number should go from here to here, then x should go into here. When x is equal smallest, for this particular question, we don't need to do anything because that just means this value appear again. That's not very interesting for us. What we want to know, what we want to maintain is the smallest value and the second smallest value. So it doesn't change that. Um, if x is between smallest and second smallest, then that's also we need to update because that means x is a new second smallest number. So x need to go into here. And if x is equal to second smallest, we don't need to update. Similarly, if x is bigger than second smallest, we don't need to update. So there are only these two cases that we have to update these two states. Now another question is what initial values do we put in smallest and second smallest? So I guess we can do some cases like you look at the first two, and if element in the array, if the first one is less than the second one, then you put the first one here, the second one here. But the question is, what if the first one and second one are the same? So then you need to keep going on looking for the next one. So that's become fairly complicated. So a typical strategy for this is you set some default values that are either very large or very small, so that in our case, because we want to find the smallest value, uh, so we will set them to be very, very large. So then whenever we see any number, they will become smaller. So then they will push out these fake values. So that's a common strategy when we are computing min and max, is to choose one extreme value. So here's the code that implement that logic. So we read in the first line, we read in n, then we read in this. So as I mentioned earlier, this nums is actually not a list. It's known as a iterable, but we can use the iterable in this for loop. And for this version, it's okay because that's all we are going to do is to enumerate through them. So uh, so I use this large number. I chose a value called large int. So in programming context, there's this number is often used as a modulus because when the answer is a very big number, they want you to take model of this. So yeah, I just you can use any other value for this particular question. Anything bigger than 100 would work because the input are guaranteed to have absolute value no bigger than 100. So this line is also a new syntax. So we are assigning large int to second and then to smallest. So that's because this assigning multiple value to a single value is very common. So there's this special syntax for that. We can chain this assignment statement. And the next one is we're starting looking at each number. So if a number is less than smallest, then we will do what we say we will do here. And the order of these two statements is important. So you have to assign the second, move the smallest to second first before you overwrite the current smallest. And if it's not this case, then all we care about is whether it's in this case. If it's in this case, then second, this x is assigned to the second. For all the other cases, because we're not going to do anything, so we don't need to have code for them. So once the loop is done, there are actually two possible cases. One of them is we actually don't have a second smallest. So this will happen when all the number in the list are the same. So in that case, the first time that the first number will become the smallest, all the other number will not change any of this. So then the second will be large int because the first time we see that value, we will assign the second to smallest because the smallest is still large int, so the second is still large int. So after we see one value, we're going to see that value as the smallest, and the large int as the second smallest. So when the second is a large int, we know it doesn't exist, so we print no. Otherwise, we print that value. So this implement that logic of maintaining two states. So a slightly shorter version is using built-in functions. We use a min function, and we also use a append function. So the strategy of this code is we first uh, compute the least element, the minimum of this all the numbers. Then we will construct a new list. So here I call that new num. And this new list will include every number in the old list that is not the smallest. So once we constructed this new list, then the answer will just be in the min of this new list, because we already removed the smallest element from the list. So then the min of the remaining element will be the second smallest. Of course, this new list may be empty, in which case we will compute, we'll just print no. And the loop, these loop construct this new list. So we initialize this new list to be empty. And then for every element in the list we look at, if it's not equal to the smallest, then we will append that element to the list. So this append is a function that we can call on list. This will just add an element to the end of the list. So I want to show this behavior of without using this list to explicitly convert whatever we get here into an actual list, what will happen? Because I felt it's actually a little bit unexpected. So if we don't use, let's not use the list first. So we'll just read in this sequence of numbers, and then instead of computing them, I'm just going to print them. So I'm not really solving the problem. I'm just trying to demonstrate this syntax issue. Okay, so this is what happens. So we first read in 7, and then we read in the 7 numbers, and then we loop through them and then print it out. Now, suppose I compute the minimum of this numbers that are here. So, but I'm still using the same code to print. What happens is I get nothing. So by calling this min on these nums, it changes the nature of the value. So then I can no longer loop through them. So I think this is actually kind of a bad feature, that calling the min on this thing actually changes the nature of it. So because of that, I have to use this list to explicitly convert whatever returned here, which is, you can think of it as a sequence of things that you can go over one by one, but it's not quite a list. But by using this list, we can convert that into list, and then this thing will be fine again. So to recap, so for this problem, we learned how to compute the minimum element in a list of numbers. Similarly, we can use that to compute the maximum, and also how to compute the smallest and second smallest, in which case we maintain two variables. And also this, in future, when you're reading multiple numbers, you want to use as the list, you should use this list to convert that. And also we can use append to construct a list. So starting with the empty list, we can keep appending and construct a list.